Aw. Okay. Lecture time. Okay, so I'm going onto Google, right? Looking up free trade, right? Just to get my thoughts in order here. Going on these places, Google immediately takes me to a site called The Balance. I don't even give a shit if I say their name in my lecture. Public. The internet is public. I have a right to criticize anything in the public purview. So the idea here is, they're like, we have show the pros and cons, right? But they have a picture of Trump as Lady Liberty flipping everybody off. I said, wow, that's interesting. And then it turns out they're like, as a matter of fact, protectionism is never a good idea. And they just pointed out a con, right? The contrary argument. Never presented a pro argument. Would be for or not opposed, but advocate, right? I find that two of the top sites, three of them, are all anti-protectionism, and that's the ones that popped up on Google immediately. Yeah, Google is a puto calculator. Yeah, they are the hijo de puta for the fucking puta madre over there on the left. And I don't care if I say that either publicly. What are they gonna do? If I can erase my shit, I'll go into WordPress and just start blogging all of it, and transfer all my videos and lectures to WordPress. I'm sure I heard that they don't put up with that fascist bullshit anyhow, and they let you blog for free. Imagine that. But yeah, protectionism. As a libertarian, you'd think, well, before that, free trade, right? Just let countries shit all over America. No. Okay. If I have a business, right, over in the next county, they're paying people with food rather than paying them living wage. Because we're talking about some type of production, right? So you want people to have at least a living wage. It's not like McDonald's, where you give people a living wage and it causes McDonald's to go out of business. Yeah. So say if America was one county over from China, and they're paying people peanuts, right? Well, the county of America has to look out for itself and figure out a way to stop those people from bringing in goods and competing with Americans that are making a living wage. They have two people working, so they're buying a house. They're under debt, right? They can't afford to lose their job. That's just the way life works. I mean, you could say that there's inequity in the system, but it's been like that forever. As long as there's been capitalist cities, there's been people struggling to purchase land and build on that land, build farms and be fruitful. That's the nature of life. Wages are never going to be equitable in a free market. And then when you go into the communist or socialist markets, it just exacerbates. Everybody's equal to everybody. Everybody's getting a high wage. Everybody's out of business. The lunch line, the soup lines, down the block and around the corner. Oh yeah. Let's just go to Venezuela and find out if that's true. So you see that, protectionism is absolute necessary. Without protectionism, America would not be able to pull a good deal. We have no way to bargain a deal. It's not even a bargain, right? We're just levering on other countries. We're using our purchasing power, our weight, against other countries. So this idea that it's all free trade and that multinational corporations in, which is fine, but without some type of oversight, making sure that they're not using Americans as a cash crop rather than seeing them as a people, a sovereign people. It's not only an ethical issue, it's a business ethics issue and just a business cycle issue. If you want to live in America and preserve America, you have to do your duty for America, right? So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where the Libertarian Party stands on this, but if they're completely against protectionism, then, maybe they're in the pocket of multinational corporations. Maybe. I've seen some interesting garbage coming out of the Cato Institute lately about who's the most freest country in the world, right? The people on the top of the list, the ones that take away guns and then suppress free speech and then sequester property and make it, quote, public, and then the government finagles it and then destroys, I guess you could say the immortum, the equity through the margin. I know what I'm talking about, but it's called they call it balloon. That's what the government does, right? But we don't want that to happen. We want graduated scale, in housing markets, right? Okay, if I can just explain that so people don't accuse me of being some type of recluse or loose cannon that doesn't really know what he's talking about. So, yeah. So we get to, free trade can't always ever be free. There's no such thing as free. It's never equitable. Countries are different, right? The free is a bogus argument. It's a way to pat. It's a pat argument to feel good argument. Make people feel good. See, it's free trade. Yeah, no, it's not true. So yeah. Okay, there was the second one. See, now I'm getting off. Okay, free trade, and then the other one was. Hold on, I'm gonna pause and then think about it. Come back. Yeah, I got it. Open borders. I already discussed this. I went through this in length. I'm sure. I probably went through free trade in length, but not as much as I'd like to. That's why I'm going back to this idea. It's the same idea as free trade. Okay, we're individuals. We self-rule. We perform a work unit. People don't like that word. Work unit, 2 words, right? But we do perform work. And it is quantifiable into units, depending on what type of job it is. You classify the unit. If you're in an office and you're a clerk, that's a different type of unit than digging a ditch, right? Because there's a different process of how that unit makes money for the business that they're working for. So the clerk, the blue collar, doesn't have the same work unit. The white collar doesn't have the same unit as the blue collar. That has to be true. So we're freely bringing in work unit. How many farm jobs are there that legals could fill, or even people should be illegals, should be people on a work visa, migrant farmers, right? That's how it should be. So we have the work unit, That's a blue collar work unit. Well, I would say that's another type. It's a laborer work unit. Blue collar would be service industry, and then white collar would be informational, right? Okay, so we have the laborer work unit. How much laborer work unit does America require? People that only perform labor. Even working at fast food would be labor. Yeah. We have entry level work like that, so they need to go to school to get into service work or to get into white collar office work. Yeah. Okay, so they're illegal. So promoting them into anything else other than just a laborer, general laborer, immediately takes jobs away from, it's almost a hostile job market in places. People are, you have hundreds of applicants, even for temp jobs, you know. So how does that work? Well, it doesn't work. That is legitimately stealing from Americans, It's freeloading, you know. This idea that they're all working on farms, all the illegals coming in work on farms, and they're not taking construction jobs. It's very competitive in construction. I do know that there's a lot of people that are able to. Ooh, that was cool, huh? Wow, that almost looks like a painted sky. Yeah, I'm out in the back. Okay. Has the friends over? Not really. Okay. So. Okay, I'm gonna sum this up. Based on work unit, the general labor work unit, the service work unit, then you have the office worker unit. Another type, there's like what we call the administrator work unit. So, 4 types of work unit, and I really don't think illegals are going to go into the other 3 other than general labor without legitimately stealing other people's jobs. If they're on a work visa, right? Okay. So how long are they in the United States? Okay, so if you have people on a work visa and they're college educated and they're proving themselves in our work market and then apply for a permanent residency, all right, sure. What happens if they just go back to their own country? I suppose. But what would be the point? Why would we let people like that come in, work here, gain experience, and then leave? Oh, they're just using our country as a step up to, back to their own country. Maybe they'll tell people about it. Okay, sure. But even so, there's legitimate problems with that. What the heck is that? Oh, that's the airplane with its lights on. But yeah, think about that. 4 work units and how they play in all our markets and all the cycles of our markets. Yeah, you can hear that. That, I believe, is a 737. It's a short runway, so they have to go into reverse and slow down and land. Very loud. It's like, whoa. It's like, wow. It's like we all stop talking until the airplane roars by, Anyhow, that's life, right? Commerce, and people are probably a lot of business people on those planes making a lot of money for people, for other people. Hey, those other people are making money for other people. Yeah, probably. Maybe a chain of 2 or 3, 4, even. That's commerce. It's capitalism. Anyhow, yeah. So you have all these cycles. Okay, so how many cycles, is the illegal immigration disrupting or impinging or mitigating somehow? We don't hear that too much. We don't really go through all of the economics on television with a fine-tooth comb. It just seems like the government just gives us whatever they think uh, that we desire to know, just enough to get us to stop asking questions. Was it about being secretive? I think there's deep state, but that's not the point. As much as people that wish to tell us what we should do. It's like, well, we're the boss, and we tell you. That's a horrible mentality. That ruins government. That ruins civilization eventually. Obstinance and petulance and hubris. That's what that is right there. And we can't accept that. We have to be civically active, everybody, and in unison, unified voice. Tell these people that if you don't tell us everything, you're just not going to be in office ever again. Because you're going to be identified as the person that shades the truth. Maybe a liar. Is that a type of lying? Well, if your job is to be a proxy, to do the job that we don't do ourselves in government, we don't vote for every single thing. We expect that the government, has due regard for the people and thinks about everybody and then makes a wise decision. Well, yeah. So, after not doing that, and they promise to do that, well, then they're liars, right? They promise to uphold the will of the people, and yeah, there you go, liars. Deceit, probably 3 or 4 different types of lies in there, under the heading of deceitfulness. Anyways, yeah, just think about that.